Very rarely nowadays does a horror film come out that constantly keeps me guessing, has me on the edge of my seat, and makes me completely question my sanity, but this one might have just pulled off the trifecta here. Weapons is the newest horror movie from director Zach Cregger, and it's about when all but one child from a third grade class in school mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, and a community is left questioning who or what is behind their sudden disappearance. So ever since Barbarian took me on a wild ride and made me never want to step foot in an Airbnb again, I've been impatiently waiting for this director to give us another twisted and haunted horror movie experience. And because of the amount of shocks and turns that last film had in store for us, I've been working overtime to make sure I didn't see a single trailer for Weapons and could go into it completely fresh, which was not an easy task for someone who's so keyed into the film landscape, if I'm being honest. This is by far my most anticipated horror movie of the entire year, and maybe just movie in general. I mean, Jordan Peele reportedly fired his entire team for not securing the rights to this one. So if that doesn't get the hype train rolling full speed ahead, I don't know what will. So when I sat down to watch this movie, I wanted to see Zach Cregger up the ante and offer up an even more bonkers story with some truly wild tricks up his sleeve. And I'm happy to report that Weapons is one of my favorite movies of 2025, and it's going to absolutely rock you if you're not careful. When it comes to the story they decided to go with here, this is my favorite type of setup for a horror movie. I love when there's a weird-ass unexplained mystery happening on top of this already creepy atmosphere they're throwing us into. It honestly kind of feels like if Prisoners from 2013 was a straight-up soup-to-nuts scary movie, but this story takes risks, it's swinging for the fences, and there are a shitload of surprises going on throughout the runtime. It's not going to give you absolutely all the answers about what's happening here, and I mean, why would you even want that in the first place? But there is a satisfying conclusion at the end. And even if all the specifics aren't perfectly spelled out right in front of you, there's more than enough material here to draw your own conclusions and figure out why some of this truly bizarre shit is going down. Cregger just does a really good job of not only setting the table with an interesting concept, but he takes the story in all the places I wanted it to go, and a few that I wasn't even expecting in the slightest, making it a total roller coaster ride on one hell of a bad acid trip, even if it takes a little bit longer to get going than his previous effort. Let's talk about the performances in the film, because there's a really solid cast here from front to back. Garner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, and Benedict Wong are the most notable actors who round out this roster. Everyone in here does some pretty solid work, but for me, it's gotta be Josh Brolin who's out there commanding the screen, giving the most interesting performance, and bringing a much-needed bit of comic relief from time to time. I'm also someone who thinks Alden Ehrenreich is criminally underrated, and he dishes out a really entertaining performance as this unhinged police officer who continues to make just the worst life choices. And okay, if you know me at all, you know that I think a child actor in a horror movie can sometimes really make or break the entire operation, but this little dude, Carrie Christopher, he seriously came to work and handles a lot of important moments that get us to buy into the situation at hand. There's also a killer antagonist role involved in this movie, but seeing as I didn't know a thing about it before sitting down in the theater, I think it's best if you encounter that one for yourself rather than hear me talk about it, but just know that it's out there and it's glorious. One thing we have to discuss is the actual horror aspects at play here. Like, is this just a really well-made, creepy movie, or is it packing some serious firepower when it comes to the scare factor? You know, even though I'm somebody who absolutely loves this genre, there aren't that many recent films that have left a lasting impact on me outside of something like Hereditary or Sinister, but I would be lying if I said that Weapons didn't have some juice in that department, in big part because of the camera work and the editing style. Now, it's not going to have you looking over your shoulder, and the legitimate scares are few and far between, but when Zach Cregger decides to let them rip, they're effective as all hell. And he proves once again that as skilled as he is with delivering up these shocking moments, a good amount of them somehow end with a big laugh, just like how they did in Barbarian. This guy just knows how to seamlessly blend comedy and horror like nobody's business, and those two genres work together here to create a weirdly fun time at the movies, despite how depressing and heavy the subject matter can be. The man is out here walking a tightrope with the ending of this film, and sends it off with a tracking shot that could truly make a grown man cry. Overall, guys, Weapons has to be the best horror movie that we've gotten in 2025 so far. It has a unique feel to it, a mystery you want to uncover, and loads of memorable, shocking moments to go around. Josh Brolin dishes out an awesome performance as this haunted father trying to find his kid, but the villain here is certifiably bonkers. Zach Cregger is 2 for 2 in my book, and he's quickly becoming a horror director whose movies need to be seen on the day they're released. Fans of the genre have been eating good this year, baby. Weapons gets a Sully score of 4.5 stars. So that's my review of the latest horror film. What do you think is the best scary movie of the last 10 years? I think I have to go with Hereditary, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.